Hello, this is Red Robot, and today on TF2 challenge mode we're going to be using the worst spy loadout I could think of. And that loadout is the Enforcer, your Eternal Reward, the Invis Watch, and the default Sapper. I'm using the reskin, the Snack Attack. Now, why are these weapons together the worst spy loadout? Well, the Enforcer and your Eternal Reward are the main kind of negative synergy weapons in this loadout. They work together absolutely terribly. You see, the Enforcer has the 20% damage bonus while you are disguised, right? But your Eternal Reward doesn't let you disguise manually. You have to disguise by getting a backstab. So basically the Enforcer has its massive downside, the reduced firing speed, and its upside only exists when you have a disguise from your Eternal Reward, which goes away after one shot and you can't put back on manually again. You have to get another backstab, which makes the Enforcer just the worst primary weapon that you could use. Your Eternal Reward is such a frustrating weapon to use against a team with lots of sentries. Sure, it's really good against buildings once you have a disguise, but the fact that you need a disguise to even get within a building's range, you have to abuse this turn speed and get behind it with your cloak. But it also makes you have a situation where you don't want to shoot, you don't want to lose your disguise once you have one. The reason I use the Invis Watch rather than any of the other watches isn't because the Invis Watch is bad, the Invis Watch is great. But I reckon if I used the Dead Ringer, I could have just kind of played a sort of a gun splay loadout, just going at people with my gun, even though it's crap, and just getting away with my Dead Ringer. I probably would have been able to do pretty well like that. And your Eternal and the Cloak and Dagger, I reckon, would have been really nice as well, because the Cloak and Dagger and your Eternal Reward makes a really good combo, because that first backstab is so hard to get without a disguise. So I figured the Invis Watch would be the worst watch for this situation, but it's still pretty good. The watch is kind of optional, just whatever you feel like would be the worst for you if you want to use the worst spy loadout. And as for Sappers, I'm just using the default one because my NG friends always tell me how OP the red tape recorder is, so I'll just believe them and chuck on the default Sapper. You know, one really interesting thing about this loadout that I wasn't expecting is the Enforcer's role in it. Now, the Enforcer is pretty much, in this loadout, 99% of the time, just a revolver that fires 20% slower. And that's terrible, right? But is it really terrible? Because the revolvers have their accuracy reset time, so there's a cooldown between your first shot. Your first shot will be 100% accurate, and then every following shot within a certain time frame will have a random kind of spread to it. Now the Enforcer's cooldown is long enough so that you can just kind of keep firing it and not have to worry about the accuracy drop-off. So you see, I was doing some pretty accurate shots with the Enforcer this game, like getting some pretty consecutive hits that maybe if I was spamming the revolver a bit faster I might not have gotten. So I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing. Like, you could just fire the revolver slower, but it's interesting how the weapon kind of holds your hand and forces you to aim your shots more, which I think is really interesting. And it makes me wonder if this game could use some sort of like accuracy indicator, like they have in CS:GO. At least just some sort of way to tell when you're 100% accurate and how much longer you have to wait between your shots. I just have no idea how to act when I've got a disguise with your Eternal Reward, because it's so valuable. The fact that you can get it within a sentry's range and fool other players, as well as the amazing chain step opportunities that you have with your Eternal Reward. I just freak out. Like, I don't know, should I shoot? Should I give up my disguise? Is it worth killing this person to give up my disguise? It requires a whole lot of decision making skills that I don't really have because I don't have too much experience playing Spy. But I feel like there's just so much to kind of think about with this loadout, so many little things you got to keep track of, that it's probably not the best loadout for a beginner like me, and of course it's the most terrible loadout you could pick overall anyway. I've noticed a lot of people trashing on the Enforcer. When you're not using it with your Eternal Reward like a sane person, it's not actually that bad. Sure, its DPS is lower overall, like, that's a fact. But if you're just decloaking and sneaking up behind someone, it's pretty much just like the Ambassador in terms of two-shotting light classes. Just shot, they're dead. You can kill snipers, you can kill NGs, you can kill spies. It's just it kills scouts even, right? And that's really great, and it's just a kind of a more reliable Ambassador in terms of using the gun to get a kill on a single person. It's definitely not the best option, but it still is an option. It's not completely useless. You know, using this terrible loadout was actually quite a bit of fun. It's funny to use these weird weapons. Your Eternal Reward especially. I really enjoy playing Spy without a disguise, actually. It makes things a whole lot more challenging. And that's all I got for you guys right now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys next time.